All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
Waiting.
Check 53's Mike. I got you, son. I got you, son.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Barkley with a carry on first down, and he'll get about 4, so 2nd and 6 forthcoming. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
2nd and 6 at their 49-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Mike 53.
Now Wentz. It's caught by OBJ. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 30. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally, and then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Now this throw caught left side, and he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Wentz going right back to Beckham here, complete. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. A first down carry for Barkley. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
That'll go as a loss of 5, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Here we go. Waiting.
55. Watch the out.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And his kick here is good. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's connect. 180. Number 53. Mike 53. Hey, that's it.
Here's a handoff to begin the drive to Morris. Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. From the 24. Rosen looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
He's checking. He's checking.
On play action, Rosen. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Hey, high 7.
Check 52's the mic. Check 52's the mic. Time to go.
From the gun, it's Rosen. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 35.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
22 jet bombers. 22 jet bombers.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. Completes it to Jennings. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
52. I don't think you got it, sir. Check nickel. Under 10. 10. Motion.
On first down, Morris. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. On the draw, this is Morris. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Dancing to his left. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1.
With the score of Browns 3, Steelers nothing.
And his kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So matching field goals on our opening 2 drives.
Yeah, it feels like 2 boxers feeling each other out here in the early going of the game, right? Exchanging some jabs, but none of the heavy stuff just yet.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through and picking up first downs.
They'll run with Chubb. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
So 2nd and goal, and standing by himself in the backfield, Barkley. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Saquon Barkley hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Browns have taken the lead. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Middle.
On 2nd and 7, Rosen gets this one to Morris. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for him. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
First carry for James Conner, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
They'll run on first down. It's Morris. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
We really didn't have any doubt that he was going to be one of the top-rated rookies coming into the league, especially as a runner. And he's given us no reason to change our minds. That's a big-time run, and the production that he showed us in college is translating very well into the National Football League.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Let's go, D.
This is Morris. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Check. Crunch. 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 Hard. Mike, 53. 53. Mike. Here we go.
49, check 49.
They'll try and run for it with Conner. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Let's go.
On first down, it's Rosen. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rosen. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A 5-yard pass on first down and another 5-yard connection there.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal.
Shift. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
Here's Morris. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the 9-yard line.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Watch the screen. Mike 52.
Don't let him breathe. Play that shot, D. Don't let him breathe, defense.
Here's Rosen to throw. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point right down the middle. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
They'll let it go deep for Beckham. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the
blitz coming, and down he goes. Jannard Avery, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Let's go.
Now Rosen. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
3rd and long here for Rosen. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. And from down in Miami, an update. And the early going, it's the Texans out in front. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
Now Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. On 2nd and 12, Rosen under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jannard Avery in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Check 53, Mike. Good track, good track. 80. 53 is the mic. 53 is the mic.
Hey, check.
Mike, 53. 53, Mike.
I got him. On that Monday.
Hey, we got Mike, number 50.
Rosen just getting the snap off and one. That's caught by Jennings. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
At their own 20-yard line.
Go.
The Browns drive about to get started. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical.
He's got daylight. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Saquon Barkley, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. To throw is Rosen. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And I think the Browns got it. They did.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. A first down run from Barkley, pretty well defended. Give him 3 yards on the play. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll go to Barkley again. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Go. Protein spell. Deuce. Check 9.
rusher drops off as they'll look to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
There we go.
Here we go. 180.
52.
57. 57.
Watch QB drop.
Following the penalty, Chubb. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Go, go. 280.
Check.
Now Saquon Barkley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Brings up third down and 7.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Bilal Nichols able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that will bring up fourth down. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will give them a 12-point lead. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rosen, open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster.
To Juju Smith-Schuster. A gain of 10 yards. And it's third down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Hard. 53. Mike.
You ain't. Wahoo! You ain't doing nothing.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And that will be incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on fourth down, and they're going to go for it.
Alert. 53, check 53.
Hey, Charlie.
Check 53's Mike. Check 53's Mike. I got you, pop. 80.
Here we go on fourth down with Rosen. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
We always hear about guys wanting to make plays that quiet a crowd.
Yeah.
After that one.
Here in the third quarter, they were hoping to get the stop, get the football back. Not the case.
What a completion on a fourth down play.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
From the 41, Rosen, complete to Washington. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
A gain of 26 yards. First down, Steelers.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On the delay, here's Morris. Man, this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
We got it. No. Mike 52 right here. Hey, Alpha. Because I'm about to take you to school. Mike 52.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
52. Tackles.
Rosen will throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
The Cleveland offense ready to go. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Mike 53. Tighten up.
They'll run with Barkley. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. This is Barkley. And an alley to run. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here.
53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike. He's tired of me. He's tired of us. Empty.
Barkley. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Now a throw left sideline here is complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
Blue draw quarter. 357.
Hey, Mike 52. Mike 52.
Now Wentz. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Check 52 to mine. I got it.
Hey, alert, alert. Yes.
From midfield now, here's Rosen. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cunningham. A gain of 6 there on 1st. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 4. Rosen to throw again. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The Browns drive about to get started. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Let's go. Check 43.
Sunday. 357. Bravo.
Let's go, defense.
Here's Wentz to throw. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Barkley. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. On the run, it's Barkley. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Throwing now is Wentz. And an alley to run. So he got 9 yards that time, but he needed 10, and it brings up 4th and 1. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So out comes the field goal team once more. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. Throwing now, Rosen on 1st down. He finds his man, Johnson. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
At the 50-yard line.
Alert! Mike 27. Man, that's trash. That's trash.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Johnson's got it complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 28. And he just clocked it. But the clock wasn't even moving. Well, that's one you don't see very often, a wasted down.
Check 31. Middle.
Throwing again, it's Rosen. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
I'm coming after you. Mike 27. All right, T, let's go. All right, T. Hey, orbit. Hey, check Mike 27.
Again, it's Rosen. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
That's got to be a long day.
One final shot here for Rosen. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the game will continue for at least one more play.
To not finish a game on a defensive penalty, that's why they get one more untimed attempt.
Check 53, flag. Let's go, D. Let's go.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down as time has now run out on this game. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal.